What I want you to focus on as you're dribbling with the dribbling foot is just to step here and then tap. Does that make sense? So it's just a step. As I step, I drop my opposite shoulder and I tap the ball to the opposite direction. Touch, drop it, drop the shoulder. Yes, good. And then can we steer? Well done. There you go. Touch, good. Well done. Your first touch, well done. Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. I know it's been a while since I've posted, but I'm back and I'm super excited to share with you guys a training session that I actually coached 2 young athletes in the training session. And in the training session, we mainly focus on passing, dribbling, shooting. So these 3 areas of the game are the most important that I always try to incorporate in every training session, even when I'm training on my own. The exercises are fun, exciting, and you could use a partner to do each exercise. So make sure to watch each exercise until the end, and when you're ready, we can get started. Now for the first part of the training session, I try to focus on a specific warm-up with the ball. Now the players grab a ball, they go in a small square, and we're just focused on specific ball mastery exercises that helps them to get a lot of touches with the inside and the outside of the foot. So as you can see, the first exercise is just simple inside-outside of the foot. And if you notice the setup of the exercise, it's very simple. It's a small square and there's no specific pattern to where to dribble and what to do. And the reason I did that is because I want to make sure that the players are creative, and I want to make sure that the exercise is as game realistic as possible. So in the game, you're not specifically dribbling in a specific pattern. So they can dribble wherever they want, and at the same time, they're improving their touches. That's the way I like to always do ball mastery, is to make it in a creative way. Now, for the second part of the warm-up, I try to hold a number in my hand, as you can see. And the reason I do that is the players are now forced to scan for the number as they're doing each exercise, and they're dribbling it around the square. And they're doing each ball mastery exercise that I'm telling them. So this really develops the habit of scanning as they dribble with the ball. Because a lot of times when you do these exercises on your own or with your players, you might develop a bad habit of looking down at the ball when you dribble. To make sure that doesn't happen, one of the great ways that you can do is to hold out a number or color in your hand. So now as the players dribble around, they can actually scan and create the habit of having their head up as they're dribbling. Now, the next exercise is just a simple rollover. As you see, they're just hopping on their feet and rolling the ball side to side. So these are really simple exercises just to get those touches on the ball with all parts of the foot. For the next exercise, I did a passing and receiving exercise to work on their first touch and a quick give and go in the middle. So how the exercise works is that you can put a cone on top. I put a mannequin in this example, but you can also use cones for all of them. I put a mannequin in the bottom and I just put an agility pole in the middle. So the server starts on the cone at the top, the receiving player starts beside the mannequin. Right before the receiving player receives the ball, as the passing player or the server is passing the ball, they have to check away from the defender. And once they check away, they have to take their first touch behind the defender. And once they do, they have to do a quick give and go around the agility pole. Now, it is very important to focus on 2 important coaching points. Number 1, the timing of creating space is very important. So right before the player passes the ball, they must check away from the mannequin or the cone. This helps them to be able to understand how to create space when they have the defender tight on them. And the second important point is the give and go. So the player that is doing a give and go, once they pass, it's the server exactly. So once the server passes the ball, then they're becoming the wall for the give and go. So they have to make sure they're in line with the agility pole, which is also acting as a defender. And they also have to make sure that their body and their hips is open into both directions. So you don't want to be facing one way, you want to make sure the hips are facing both directions. Right? I'm going to play you the ball, you're going to play me back. As you play me back, you can pressure. So ball, pressure, there you go. Now, what I'm going to do, attack, I'm going to do a side step, and then I'm going to score. All right? So, when I do the side step, okay? Let's practice it. Yeah. What I want you to focus on as you're dribbling with the dribbling foot is just to step here and then tap. Does that make sense? So it's just a step. As I step, I drop my opposite shoulder and I tap the ball to the opposite direction. All right? So again, the defender is not trying to win the ball for the first round, and then we're going to change it up after. With the side step. Yes. Okay. Now, let's talk about some points about the side step. How can we make it more tricky? How can I make my side step more tricky? Yes, right, with the eyes, right? Again, so if you watch the professional game, right? If you always notice the defender's eyes, they're always looking at the attacker's eyes, right? So if you play in a high level, right? They're not gonna look at the ball at your feet. They're gonna be looking at your eyes, right? Because this tells them where you're going, right? So as I'm dribbling, I have to make sure if I want to go this way, yes, Aiden, I'm staring that way, right? 1, 2. Does that make sense? And then I can finish, right? Now, the second thing I would fix is the drop of the shoulder. Can I drop this shoulder low as I perform the side step, right? I need to make sure this shoulder really drops low to the ground, right? Here, right? And then play, okay? All right, let's go. Touch, step. Well done. Play. Touch, step. Okay. Can we have a bigger step? Can we alternate directions with the step? Good. Can we alternate directions with the step? 2 more. Good. It's okay, play. Yes, that's more like it. Even a bigger step, Drop my shoulder lower, right? Go. Big step. Okay. 2 more. Touch, step. Good. Finish. Yes. Okay. The defender starts at the net. I'm going to be the server. All right. So ball with me. Now I'm going to play you the ball. You're going to bounce back. You're going to open up to either side. Once I play him the ball, you can pressure. Now it's a 1v1. You can try to win the ball, right? So don't have to wait for him to pass. So whoever scores gets the point. If you win the ball, you have to dribble past the line. Does that make sense? Let's actually switch it up. If you win the ball, you have to pass to the small net. Okay? Put this here. Or put it here. Okay, so once you win the ball, pass it to the small net. So that makes it more difficult for you. Okay? Ready? Play. Bounce. Open up. Receive. Go. Can we use a side step to beat him? Good job. 1-0. All right. Yep. Ready. Play. Okay. Yeah. You have the ball, Aiden. I'll take your spot, David. Okay, so let's talk about some defensive points, right? The first defensive point is when the attacker has the ball. Can I, instead of approaching him straight on, right? If I approach you here, how many ways can you go? You can go both ways, right? Can we block one side instead and force him away from the net, right? So as I'm approaching him, I'm going to angle my approach slightly. But I have to be careful here because some players make a mistake. If I leave the line completely open, he's going to shoot. And I don't want that to happen. So I have to still be in between the ball and the net. But can I slightly block the angle and angle my approach? Does that make sense? Now, I have to angle my approach in a way that he can't go this way. Because now if he still goes this way, now I'm screwed. Does that make sense? So I have to angle my approach here, right? Angle my approach, right? Angle it. Now it's very difficult for him to go. The cone. Ready? Play. Bounce. Open up. Play. Well done. That's a great move. Can we angle our approach? Ready, play, bounce, open up. Angle the approach. Force him away, David. Force him away. Force him away from your net. Force him away. Good. Now let's talk about the offensive point, all right? When I'm attacking the defender, I have to do what to get past him? What should I do? And what does the body feint do to the defender? Yeah, it off balances the defender, right? So if I'm dribbling at the defender, I'm looking to off balance him, right? So the way I can off balance him is very simple, right? I should simply move to one side and bring him with me. So once he's moving to one side, then I can fake and go to the opposite side. Does that make sense? But I have to be looking at his body positioning, right? I'm looking for the moment when I'm doing the side step, I'm looking for the moment where you take a step this way. That's where I want to go this way, right? If I see you standing here, maybe I will do another side step here to go this way. Does that make sense? So we have to be reacting to the defender's body, right? Whichever way he steps, we want to go to the opposite direction, okay? Bounce, open, play, attack, off balance. Okay, nice try. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes, great move there, well done. Approach at an angle, Aiden. Block one side. Gotta block one side, Aiden, right? Block one side, approach at the angle. Yeah, play.
So for the final exercise, unfortunately, the camera wasn't angled properly, so the net is not correctly visible. However, the setup of the exercise is very simple. You can put two cones or mannequins on the outside of the box. You don't want them to be too far from each other. I would say maybe 3 or 4 steps max from each other. Now you can do this with your partner. One person bounces the ball and the other person has to bounce back, open up, and then once they receive the ball again, they're going to take their touch to the inside and finish in the net. However, I explained some crucially important finishing and shooting points which you can see to improve your finishing.
Oh, gotta be careful with the touch, right? So the reason we have 2 defenders is because it's game realistic, right? In the game, you have 2 seconds to shoot. The touch has to be here. If you don't shoot, the other one's gonna close you down, right? So you have to shoot on time. Okay, let's talk about the accuracy, boys. So when I'm striking the ball, accuracy comes from 2 things. Number 1 is my planting foot. Number 2 is my hips. My hips have to be pointing towards where I want to shoot. If I want to shoot to the far post, hips should be towards the far post. Planting foot, pointing towards the far post. Does that make sense? Okay, so these 2, hips and planting foot, right? Where the accuracy comes from, right? So can we make sure when we're shooting, right? Don't ping the ball like this. As I shoot, a shot should be a follow through. A shot includes a follow through, right? If you do that, then the ball will go like that. If you want to shoot, have to follow through so the ball goes with power, right?